Friday, February 20th, the Supreme Court of the United States ruled that the president does not have the authority to impose tariffs under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, which we call IEEPA.
Right. Well, it is very much a big deal, and it deserved all the news it was getting. I think it matters a little bit more for the law and the legal aspects of it than the economics. As we'll get into, I'm sure he has a lot of other statutory authority to impose tariffs. So tariffs aren't going away, but it just forecloses this avenue of imposing these tariffs. Well, I think it's important to consider what would have happened had the court ruled the other way, because then that would have allowed the president to really have this unconstrained authority to issue tariff threats, change tariffs overnight, and do things in a very willy-nilly, chaotic way that we've sort of seen. And by forcing the president to use some of these other statutes that are a little bit more constraining, that are a little more structure to them, it sort of takes away the tariff threat that comes with the overnight tweet.
He also said that he was immediately going to impose a 10%, and then on Saturday up to 15% global tariff under Section 122 of the Trade Act of 1974. Section 122 allows for tariffs for 150 days from today, actually, to deal with large and serious balance of payments deficits.
The balance of payments is simply an accounting of all transactions between everyone in the US and the rest of the world, and every country has their own balance of payments, of course. Another point is that the balance of payments always balances, particularly when we have fixed floating exchange rates. But subcomponents of the balance payments do not need to be in balance. So there's a lot of attention paid to the trade deficit. We have a capital inflow into the US, so a surplus, if you will, on the capital account. The question is whether you throw in services too and into the current account. So all the subcomponents of the balance payments can be in surplus or deficit, don't have to be in balance, but the overall balance payments ultimately balances. So here's where this language of a balance of payments deficit is a little bit archaic and sort of odd to our ears today. Long story short is this term balance payments deficit sort of has some resonance in the 50s and 60s, but after the mid-1970s, when we have floating exchange rates and the balance payment sort of automatically balances, it's sort of odd to use that terminology. But that's the way the law is.
And so a balance of payment deficit isn't really a thing anymore.
Isn't really a thing. And what's interesting is the president's own lawyers, the government lawyers in the IEEPA case, explicitly said, well, actually, we can't invoke Section 122 because, yes, we have a trade deficit, and that's their emergency that they're worried about, but a trade deficit is not a balance of payments deficit. So they may have undercut themselves accidentally if these new tariffs undergo litigation.